let's talk about something pretty wild. What if your entire way of thinking, I mean, your core consciousness, could be rewritten just like computer code? That's the huge idea at the heart of a theological text we're digging into today. It suggests there's a way to completely reboot the human mind. So, the source, it doesn't mess around. It drops this massive claim on you right from the get-go that a spiritual experience it calls resurrection life doesn't just, change your perspective. No, it installs an entirely new psychological operating system. So what on earth does that actually mean? Okay, so to really get our heads around this idea of a new mind, we first have to understand the default setting it's replacing. The text calls this the old humanity, and it's basically the baseline, a kind of spiritual psychology for most of us. So here's our starting point. The old humanity isn't about judging anyone, not at all. It's more of a description of our default mental software. This is a mind that's constantly in reaction mode, always being shaped by a world it sees as full of limits and danger. So if this mind is always reacting, what exactly is it reacting to? Let's drill down a bit and look at the core thought patterns that are really driving this old humanity, what the source calls the logic of thinking through threat. And yeah, you can totally see how these 5 drivers, threats, survivals, scarcity, self-preservation, and loss, they all just feed into each other, don't they? It paints this picture of a mind that's constantly on the lookout for danger, always working from a place of not enough, and completely focused on not losing things. It's a psychology of pure defense. When you strip it all away, it really comes down to this one thing. The old mind is running on a deficit. Its entire logic is built around what's missing, or what you could lose. It's fundamentally a psychology of not enough. Okay, so right when you're thinking, wow, this sounds kind of bleak, the text just completely flips the script. It puts forward a total alternative, a psychology built on an entirely different foundation. This is where the rewrite really begins. So what is this new foundation? Well, if the old mind is built on a bedrock of fear, the new one is built on its total absence. This section is all about exploring that spirit without fear. And believe it or not, the entire concept really hinges on this one line. The text argues that this whole new psychology depends on this single idea from the Apostle Paul. Fear is not a gift from God. It's a bug in the system, not a feature. The text really hammers this point home, arguing from every possible angle that fear is basically an alien presence in this new framework. It's not part of your new nature, it's not your inheritance, it's not part of this new reality. In other words, fear is a foreign language to the rewritten mind. And this chart just lays it all out so clearly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the old mind, founded on fear and driven by this constant need to protect and survive. And on the other, you have the new mind, founded on the absence of that fear, which the full verse in Timothy tells us is replaced by power, love, and a sound mind. It's a fundamental shift in the whole operating system. All right, so we've looked at the two systems side by side. This brings us to the final, and frankly, the most profound claim in the text. What's the ultimate result of swapping out that old OS for the new one? And here it is, the ultimate claim. This isn't just about thinking positive or trying really hard to be less afraid. The source is arguing it's something way more radical. This spiritual experience is like a deep, fundamental software update. It literally rewrites consciousness from the ground up. And that leaves us with this massive, lingering question to chew on, right? If the default drivers of scarcity and threat really can be replaced, what does it truly feel like to live with a rewritten consciousness? That's the powerful idea this text leaves us with. Thanks for diving into this with me.